The massive alien vessels loomed over Earth's atmosphere, casting long shadows across the Pacific Ocean. Jay Park stood in the cramped command center, his eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching Zorn invasion fleet. His fingers moved quickly across the control panel, coordinating defensive positions. Captain Yuna Kim approached him, her face calm but determined. "They're coming in from 3 different vectors," she reported, pointing to the flickering blue markers on the screen. The alien ships looked like massive metallic predators, their hull designs sharp and menacing. The first wave of plasma weapons erupted from the alien battleships. Bright blue-green energy beams cut through the sky, targeting Earth's orbital defense platforms. Most military strategists would have expected total destruction, but humans were different. Jay's team had been preparing for years. Underground research facilities had developed adaptive defense systems that could learn and adjust in milliseconds. As the first plasma burst approached a defense platform, something unexpected happened. The platform's shields flickered, absorbed the energy, and then redirected it back toward the attacking ships. The Zorn commanders couldn't believe their sensors. Their most advanced weapons were being reflected, turned into a weapon against them. One alien commander, visible through a communication link, clicked and chirped in frustration, his tentacle-like appendages waving wildly. On the ground, military bases were already in motion. Soldiers moved with precision, not with panic. Tanks rolled out from hidden underground facilities. Aircraft that looked more like experimental machines than traditional planes rose silently into the sky. Each vehicle was equipped with technology developed from years of secret research. Yuna activated a special communication channel. "All units implement Protocol Horizon," she said calmly. It was a code that would synchronize every defensive system across the planet. No single point of failure would exist. The aliens had studied human history. They knew about world wars, conflicts, and human divisions. They expected a fractured response. Instead, they encountered a unified planetary defense that moved like a single organism. Satellite networks tracked every alien movement. Quantum computers processed attack patterns faster than the Zorn could change tactics. Underground bunkers were already populated, not with frightened civilians, but with trained resistance fighters ready to counterattack. Jay watched as the first alien dropships attempted to breach Earth's atmosphere. Something was wrong with their approach. They were moving too predictably, too mechanically. Human defense systems had already calculated their exact landing zones. Missile batteries hidden in mountain ranges emerged silently. Camouflaged launch sites that looked like ordinary terrain suddenly transformed. Weapons that combined human engineering with reverse-engineered alien technology waited in perfect readiness. The first alien landing units discovered something they didn't expect. The ground itself seemed alive, responsive. Defensive systems emerged from what looked like simple terrain, adapting and changing faster than the aliens could process. "They think we're weak," Jay said quietly to Yuna. "They have no idea what's coming." Each human defensive unit moved with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. Predictive algorithms, developed by the world's best mathematicians and computer scientists, allowed them to anticipate alien movements several seconds before they happened. The invasion wasn't just a military operation. It was a demonstration of human potential. Every system was connected, every response calculated, every potential weakness already accounted for. The aliens had chosen the wrong planet to attack. Plasma cannons continued to fire. Alien ships tried multiple attack vectors, but each attempt was met with a response that was both intelligent and unpredictable. The humans weren't just defending. They were learning, adapting, transforming the very nature of the conflict. In command centers around the world, similar scenes played out. Calm professionals, representing every nationality, worked together with a single purpose. No panic, no fear. Just cold, calculated resistance. The first hour of the invasion would become a turning point in human history, the day aliens learned that humanity was not just another species to be conquered, but a force of nature that would fight back with everything it had. The underground research facility hummed with intense energy. Wu Sung leaned over a workbench, carefully dismantling a captured alien pulse weapon. Scattered around him were parts that looked like a bizarre mix of human technology and alien design. His team worked silently, each member focused on their specific task. Outside, the world was changing. Cities that once seemed vulnerable now looked like fortified zones. Every street corner, every building had been modified to become a potential defensive position. The alien invasion had transformed human society overnight. Haley sat in a separate room, her fingers dancing across multiple communication screens. She was building something more powerful than any weapon, a global resistance network that could move information faster than the aliens could track. Small encrypted messages jumped between satellites, underground communication nodes, and mobile units. The first week after the initial invasion had been crucial. While the Zorn expected humans to be broken and defeated, they discovered something entirely different. Every captured alien technology became a learning opportunity. Engineers like Wu Sung didn't just study the alien weapons, they completely reimagined them. A pulse weapon that was designed to destroy now became a tool for protection. Communication systems meant to track humans were transformed into untraceable communication networks. The aliens' own technology was being used against them. In mountain valleys and hidden desert locations, resistance training camps emerged. These weren't traditional military camps. They were adaptive learning centers where soldiers, scientists, and civilians learned how to fight an alien invasion using unconventional methods. Wu Sung's latest creation was a hybrid weapon system. It looked like a simple rifle, but its internal mechanisms could shift and adapt based on the type of alien technology it encountered. One moment it could fire traditional bullets, the next it could emit electromagnetic pulses that would disable alien equipment. "We're not just fighting," Wu Sung told his team. "We're learning how to survive." Hai Li's communication network was proving to be their most powerful weapon. She had created a system where information could be shared globally, in seconds, but was impossible for the aliens to decode. Military units, resistance groups, and civilian support networks could coordinate without the Zorn understanding their plans. The aliens had expected a straightforward invasion: destroy major cities, crush military resistance, and control the planet. Instead, they found a human population that refused to be defeated. Every destroyed building became a potential ambush point. Every fallen city block transformed into a battlefield where the rules kept changing. Young people who were once students became resistance fighters. Teachers taught survival skills alongside traditional subjects. Factories that once produced consumer goods now manufactured specialized weapons and defensive equipment. Wu Sung's team worked around the clock. They didn't just want to survive. They wanted to turn the invasion into a turning point for human technology. Each alien device they captured was a puzzle to be solved, a technology to be understood and improved. The Zorn command started to realize something was wrong. Their invasion plans, which had worked perfectly on dozens of other planets, were falling apart. Humans didn't fight like any species they had encountered before. They didn't have a single weakness to exploit. In urban centers, community networks emerged. People shared resources, information, and support. The invasion had done something unexpected. It had united humanity in a way no previous challenge had ever managed. Haley's communication network showed something remarkable. Resistance groups in different countries were sharing tactics, technology, and support. A weapon developed in a South American laboratory could be understood and replicated in an Asian research center within hours. Wu Sung looked up from his workbench and smiled. The pulse weapon he was working on was no longer just a weapon. It was a symbol of human adaptability. The aliens had brought advanced technology to Earth, expecting to find a weak species. Instead, they had provided humans with the tools of their own potential destruction. The resistance wasn't just beginning. It was transforming the very nature of human potential. The Zorn leadership stared at their communication screens in absolute confusion. What was happening on Earth defied all their invasion protocols and strategic predictions. Yun Kim sat in a small, dark room filled with advanced communication equipment. Around him, a team of specialists worked silently, their fingers moving across holographic displays. They weren't just intercepting alien communications, they were manipulating them. The psychological warfare had begun. The Zorn believed in pure logic. Their entire civilization was built on mathematical precision and predictable outcomes. Humans were about to show them the power of unpredictability. Yun Park's tactical team had discovered something fascinating about the alien communication networks. The Zorn shared information through complex neural links that assumed all incoming data was truthful. Humans would use this against them. Small pieces of misinformation were carefully crafted and inserted into alien communication channels. These weren't random lies, but precisely designed messages that would create doubt and confusion among the alien forces. One message suggested that certain Zorn commanders were planning to betray their main fleet. Another implied that some alien units had secret orders contradicting the main invasion plan. Each message was designed to create internal friction. The alien command structure began to crack. Commanders started questioning each other. Units that were once perfectly synchronized now moved with hesitation. The human psychological attack was working perfectly. Hyun Kim understood something fundamental about warfare that the Zorn had missed. War wasn't just about weapons and technology. It was about breaking the enemy's spirit, creating doubt, and making them question everything they believed. Alien communication networks started showing signs of breakdown. What looked like simple messages began to create massive confusion. Some alien units stopped responding to central commands. Others began to argue among themselves. Yun Park's tactical teams took advantage of every moment of confusion. They would strike quickly at points of weakness, then disappear before the aliens could understand what had happened. Each attack was designed to create more psychological pressure. The human resistance had transformed psychological warfare into an art form. They understood something the Zorn did not, that fear and uncertainty were more powerful than any weapon. In alien command centers, leaders began to argue. Their perfect mathematical models of invasion were falling apart. Humans didn't follow any predictable pattern. They were chaotic, creative, and completely unpredictable. Some alien commanders wanted to retreat. Others wanted to increase the attack. The internal conflict was exactly what the human psychological warfare team had planned. Hyun Kim watched the alien communication networks with a calm smile. Each message they inserted was like a small virus, creating more and more confusion. The Zorn were destroying themselves from the inside. Military units that were once perfectly coordinated now moved with uncertainty. Alien soldiers began to question their commanders. The invasion plan was falling apart, not because of human weapons, but because of human creativity. The psychological attack went deeper. Humans began broadcasting messages that played on alien cultural fears. They found weaknesses in the Zorn communication systems and exploited them perfectly. Yun Park's team identified specific alien units and created targeted psychological operations. Some messages played on potential cultural tensions within the alien fleet. Others suggested impossible scenarios that would create maximum confusion. The Zorn had invaded hundreds of planets before. They had perfect invasion protocols. But they had never encountered a species like humans, a civilization that could turn psychological warfare into a precise scientific method. As confusion spread through the alien fleet, human resistance groups prepared for their next move. They weren't just defending anymore. They were actively destroying the alien invasion from within. The psychological war had become more important than any physical battle, and humans were winning. Hyun Kim looked at his team and nodded. The alien invasion was about to face its greatest challenge, the human ability to create chaos from order, to turn confusion into a weapon more powerful than any technology. The Zorn were learning a painful lesson. Humans didn't just fight with weapons. They fought with imagination. The research facility looked like something between a high-tech laboratory and a battlefield workshop. Jin Ho stood at the center, surrounded by pieces of alien technology and human equipment that seemed to blend together in impossible ways. His latest creation was a communication system that defied everything the aliens understood about information transfer. Quantum entanglement technology allowed messages to be sent instantly across massive distances without any possibility of interception. Su-Yan worked on the other side of the facility, her hands moving carefully over a strange material that looked like a mix between metal and living tissue. Nano armor was no longer just a concept. It was becoming a reality that would change everything about human defense. The alien invasion had done something unexpected. Instead of destroying human potential, it had accelerated technological development beyond anyone's imagination. Every captured alien device became a lesson, every destroyed city a chance to rebuild something better. Satellites that once tracked weather now became complex defense networks. Communication towers transformed into advanced scanning systems that could detect alien movements thousands of kilometers away. Factories that produced consumer goods now manufactured adaptive weapons and defensive equipment. Jin Ho's quantum communication system meant that human units could share information faster than the speed of light. A tactical decision made in one part of the world could be implemented globally in milliseconds. The Zorn had no way to understand or block this new technology. Su-Yan's nano armor was even more revolutionary. The armor could adapt to different attack types, regenerate itself, and even change its molecular structure to become more resistant. What looked like a simple protective suit could become a weapon, a shield, or a communication device in seconds. The aliens had brought advanced technology to Earth, expecting to find a weak species. Instead, they had provided humans with the tools of their own potential destruction. Each piece of alien equipment became a lesson in advanced engineering. Research centers around the world were no longer working separately. A breakthrough in a South American laboratory could be instantly shared and implemented in an Asian research facility. The human technological revolution was moving faster than any alien invasion could predict. Young scientists who were once students became key developers. Universities transformed their entire curriculum to focus on adaptive technologies. Every person became a potential innovator in the fight against the alien invasion. Jin Ho's communication network showed something remarkable. Resistance groups weren't just sharing tactical information, they were sharing technological developments. A weapon design created in one part of the world could be understood and improved in another location within hours. Su-Yan's nano armor was becoming more than just a protective system. It could analyze alien weapon signatures, adapt to different attack types, and even predict potential threats before they happened. The line between human technology and alien technology was disappearing. The Zorn leadership watched in confusion as human technological development accelerated beyond anything they had ever seen. Their invasion was creating the very tools of their own potential destruction. Factories that once produced cars and smartphones now manufactured complex defense systems. Every citizen became part of the technological resistance. Children learned advanced engineering alongside basic education. Jin Ho looked at his team and smiled. They weren't just developing technology, they were reimagining what was possible. Each alien device captured was a puzzle to be solved, a technology to be understood and improved. Su-Yan's latest nano-armor prototype could change its entire molecular structure in milliseconds. What looked like a simple protective suit could become a complex weapon system, a communication device, or a medical support unit. The technological revolution wasn't just about fighting the aliens, it was about transforming human potential. Every challenge became an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become something more than what anyone had imagined possible. The aliens had come to conquer. Instead, they had awakened something far more powerful: human creativity, human adaptability, human potential. The technological revolution had begun, and humans were just getting started. The space near Mars's orbit became a battlefield unlike any in human history. Daesung's fleet moved with a precision that seemed almost impossible, each ship working as part of a perfect, synchronized organism. Mi-Ray's advanced AI systems tracked alien movements faster than their commanders could think. What looked like random fleet positioning was actually a carefully calculated strategic dance, designed to exploit every possible weakness in the Zorn defense line. The final confrontation wasn't just a battle. It was humanity's statement to the universe. We are not just survivors, but innovators. Alien commanders watched in growing horror as their most advanced attack formations were predicted and neutralized before they could even be implemented. Human ships moved like living things, adapting and changing with each passing second. Dae-Sung understood something fundamental about warfare that the Zorn had missed. It wasn't about having the most powerful weapon. It was about understanding how to use every resource perfectly. Captured alien technologies that were once seen as threats were now human weapons. Pulse cannons designed to destroy now protected human ships. Communication systems meant to track became tools of misdirection and strategic planning. Mirai's AI had learned something remarkable. It could predict alien tactical movements not just seconds but minutes ahead. Each alien ship's potential path was calculated, understood, and countered before the movement could even begin. The battle wasn't happening in 3 dimensions. It was a complex mathematical ballet where every movement had a purpose, every position a potential strategic advantage. Human pilots weren't just flying ships. They were part of a living, breathing network where information moved faster than light, where every unit was connected, where every soldier understood their role in a massive global strategy. Dae-Sung watched the battle unfold, his hands moving across complex control systems. Each movement was calculated, each decision part of a larger plan that the aliens couldn't comprehend. The Zorn had invaded hundreds of planets. They had perfect invasion protocols, but they had never encountered a species like humans, a civilization that could turn psychological warfare, technological innovation, and strategic planning into a perfect weapon. Mirai's AI systems showed something extraordinary. The human fleet wasn't just defending. They were systematically dismantling the alien invasion force, understanding their technology, predicting their movements, and turning their own weapons against them. Alien ships that looked invincible suddenly became vulnerable. Their communication networks, once seen as unbreakable, were now completely compromised. Every tactical advantage they thought they had was being destroyed. The battle near Mars wasn't just a military confrontation. It was a demonstration of human potential. Every challenge became an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become something. More than anyone had imagined possible, Dae-Sung knew this was more than a fight for survival. This was humanity's moment to show the universe what they were capable of achieving. Mirai's systems continued to track and predict. Alien ships that tried to regroup were met with perfectly calculated counterattacks. What looked like chaos was actually a perfectly designed strategic plan. The Zorn leadership began to realize something terrifying. They weren't just losing a battle. They were witnessing the birth of a species that could transform any challenge into an opportunity for growth and innovation. Human ships moved like living things, each vessel connected through quantum communication networks that the aliens couldn't understand or block. Information moved faster than weapon systems. Strategy became more important than raw firepower. As the battle reached its final moments, something became clear. Humans weren't just fighting to survive. They were fighting to prove that adaptability, creativity, and collective intelligence were more powerful than any technological advantage. The final confrontation wasn't just a battle. It was humanity's declaration to the universe. We are here, we are powerful, and we will not be conquered. The Zorn fleet began to retreat. Humanity had won more than a battle. They had transformed themselves in the process,